Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another show. What it do, Free Keith? You ready for some bars? Because that's what
Man,
we
yo,
do
this
over here, man. We toss them up. High pace. Yeah, I mean, welcome to the Blorange Tears Network. We call this show the Knicks Freestyle, where Free Keith was your creator and Ghetto Intellect. He brought me along for the ride. What it do? What it do? What it do? Tonight we're gonna get into some things. I know what's on my mind, Keith. I know I want to talk about one. I'm going to really toss you a softball pause, and I just don't think Leon Rose could be doing any better. I really don't. I know. I know. I said it. Um, I just see the chess moves being made, and I also am a little selfish because it's going to get me to talk about how great that I know that Brunson and RJ could be as a duo. But I just hope Julius don't get in the way of that. The only thing Julius could do is hurt that. If he just let I know. Okay, let me shut up. I'm gonna give Julius a shot. But let me say this though. Rose being patient, Keith, is it exactly what you want in the boardroom. You don't want nobody making emotional decisions. You want somebody that says, okay, this is the deal. It's pricey. It's pricey. I got a little sticker shock. And listen, I understand that Minnesota was the one who started the sticker shock because they took a lesser player
I don't know
for
why they
more.
did.
So I get it. Well, here's what you're gonna have to let me do. I hear your price, I respect your price, but this one is so big, I ain't in no rush to do that. I'm gonna have to sleep on that. And then Danny Ainge helped us. Because then the next day, Danny Ainge said, okay, I'm not only talking to the Knicks anymore, he's open. And multiple teams called. Now, why Atlanta called? I'm getting a little confused. I don't know if I understand Atlanta. I don't know if Atlanta understands Atlanta, or maybe they would have moved. I think maybe they would have moved. I think maybe they would have moved on from Trey Burke.
Hey,
But
fellas,
I
how
mean,
y'all doing, man?
yo,
How y'all
the
doing?
I was letting Unc. I was letting Gi
it's a takeover. It's a
flesh out his
it's a
intro.
takeover. It's
Yeah.
a takeover.
But
It's a
this joint,
takeover.
oh man, Unc about to take over. Let me hear what wildness you about this. You about to spew some hate. I know.
I'm just all I want to know. I've been waiting all week for this because I've been trying to intro it on other shows, and the common fan, and no harm, no disrespect to the common fan, right? Because the common fan is like the common man, common woman, right? Do people free Keith? I don't want to talk to GI no more, bro. I don't want to talk to GI no more, bro. I want to talk to Free Keith about this, bro.
You don't want to
Does the common fan understand that if the Utah Jazz, who are 17th in NBA net worth, trade away their best player, that the net worth of that asset, the total asset, which is the Utah Jazz, will be diminished, right? And you're trading him to the team that is the most valuable at $5.8 billion, right? I'm gonna name the teams right behind the Knicks, right? And tell me what they all have in common. Warriors, 5.6 billion. Lakers, third, 5.5 billion. Bulls, fourth, 3.65 billion. Celtics, 3.55 billion. What do those other teams in that top five have in common in the last 30 years?
chips beyond 1973.
And NBA titles, right? And the Knicks don't have to hit a lick of the snake, and they are going to get more and more valuable as time goes on. And the reason why I don't want to talk to GI about it is about this topic is because I know GI going to start talking about business and get our heads all dizzy with business and numbers and all that stuff. I'm a common man. I just want to I just want to talk in like baby steps with stuff like baby food, right? How are Knicks fans not understanding when they trade their best asset to us for whatever it is on the floor that they get? On the Forbes list, it don't matter because future first round picks don't have a cash value attached to it yet, right? And these guys like Quentin Grimes, who's a 6-point per game NBA scorer, these guys like Obi Toppin, who's a 10-point per game scorer, Emmanuel Quickley, who's an 11-point per game scorer, does not have the same cachet in the league like a Donovan Mitchell. He's not a star, right? And so are we overlooking the fact that the Utah Jazz are diminishing their team value by trading away their best player to the team that has the most NBA value in terms of dollars and cents, in terms of straight cash, homie? And that's why Utah is looking to get as much from the Knicks as possible, because what happens is ultimately the Knicks are $4 billion worth $4 billion with a B, worth $4 billion more than the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell. So imagine if you take Donovan Mitchell away from them and add them to the Knicks, what you get. Does that push the Knicks over $6 billion in net worth just by him coming here? And does that push Utah Jazz from 17th to like 21st or 22nd? And if that is part of the equation, do you now see why this trade is taking so long? I listen, man. I know G.I. gonna eat me up. I just wanted to ask you that, Free Keith. I'm out of here, bro.
Man, Freezy be dropping some nonsense, man. Sorry to say, big homie.
That was actually
Dude, the value of the
it was
team,
brilliant. It was brilliant.
It was not brilliant. Like, dude,
he think I'm gonna beat him up. You don't want unless he's trolling.
Ainge is about to go into is obviously about to go into a rebuilding team. That's chopping down whatever value, whether we're a part of it or not. Like, he's about to chop up the value of the team. That's what happens when you're rebuilding. It like the idea that that the deal should go the deal is going differently because we're more.
You thought it was me, Freezy. I'm on your side, but I do got something to respond. But I'm with you.
That because they're trading with a team that's more valuable than them, like it's going to nah, dude. If that was the case, then he wouldn't have let Gobert go. That hit the value right there.
Well, you know what? Let me take this then.
You can't think about that like team, like the value of the entire franchise in that, because the aim is still to get to a chip. Okay, he thought they had the team that could build towards it. Now they got to chop everything down and rebuild. If it was the Lakers right now who had the assets that they wanted and we didn't, they'd be doing a deal with the Lakers. If it was OKC that had all of the picks and everything that they wanted, Ainge would be looking at OKC. I don't think us being of higher value, and you know how many things go into that.
I think you're missing this point a little bit.
The real estate goes into that valuation, which is the main reason why the Knicks are worth that much.
No,
it's of itself.
But it's deeper than how much the Knicks cost. What he's saying is, if you listen to him, he's saying that Donovan Mitchell, there's other players too, but in this case, just Donovan Mitchell has intrinsic value.
Yes.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So I can bring it down to earth. What he means is, it ain't just that he could get you some wins. The fans are so enamored by him, they're going to buy jerseys. The Knicks is going to be in the stratosphere again. So and Danny Ainge understands that as a player who played next to Jordan, the intrinsic value. He probably never seen nothing like it, right? So what I'm saying, what Freezy is saying is that Danny Ainge has to ask for that. He has no choice. He can't come off the price. So he's saying that's his negotiating chip. Now it gets me back to my lead-in point, Keith, and I'm gonna be fast. That's why we build up RJ and we build through, and I think Brunson helps us get that done. And then if good basketball starts getting played and Obi and quickly and guys feed off of that, then we can look at Ainge and say, hey, Wes, we did need your intrinsic value, but now we're creating our own and guys are falling in love with our guys. And now we less need Donovan Mitchell. So to get our assets, you got a harder play.
Let me drop something. Let me drop something on you. If that's the direction you're going, to me, then that puts leverage in. That puts more leverage squarely on us. Like we have more of the leverage because, like, all right, Danny Ainge got an offer now. He got his offer out to us. We dubbed it. No, you're not getting 7 draft picks plus IQ, OB Grimes, you know what I'm saying, and whoever. So now it's negotiation time. But now the closer it gets season, and this is why I feel like it's going to be done before camp. Danny Ainge runs the risk of having to take a lesser deal, maybe even from another team, if he lets this season open up and Grimes, IQ, OB balling out their mind. Because if that happens, you just change even the amount of cats that you could have gotten. And I think Ainge knows that. He's not going to risk that.
There's a flip side to that risk.
Because him opening up the season with a disgruntled Donovan Mitchell, although because of Donovan Mitchell's character, he won't show it. But you're opening the season up with a disgruntled superstar who knows you were trying to trade him and couldn't get it done. That's not seasoning. That's not the season you want to open up to.
And there's a flip side.
And with us, let me finish this last point. And with us, what increases our leverage is that, like, yes, getting Spider will put us in another echelon, but we also are not in a position where we have to get Spider. Meaning that if he's stuck on his on some irrational number and Leon walks away, we can still rock off in the Brunson RJ development run. Like,
if things go like they went last year, then we're in big trouble because the fans gonna get to rocking. Yeah, if we get a season, let me finish, Keith. Let me finish, Keith. I just let you talk for minutes. And then the price gets more, and that's what Freezy's saying. Because if you're Rose, you can't risk it. You can't risk it. You can't risk it. If you're Rose, you can't risk it. But all I'm saying is, if it goes south, there's no deal. It's because what's going to happen is Rose's job is going to be on the line.
No, it's not.
If the season goes south and he didn't pull the trigger on Spider and he had a chance to get Spider and fans think Spider's the answer and he didn't pull the trigger for a later day and it still goes south and now he can't get Spider or it's more expensive, his job is over. And that Freezy is right about.
There is 100%. Nobody in this league. There's no team in this league that can give him a better deal for what it is that he's looking for than us. So my sentiment about us having more leverage is like, yeah, next year can turn into the year like from last year if we go into it, but I highly doubt that because last year, we didn't even have Brunson. And to me, although I don't look at Brunson like CP3 or nothing like that, but we finally have a competent person. We finally have a competent person in the talent, in the on-court talent management position, which is what we needed. We needed somebody to organize our talent. We got that now. I highly doubt that we are going to see we are going to see even the team play that we saw from last season. I don't think that we're going to see that. But I think that there is a greater risk for Morey not getting as much as he could have gotten if he waits until the season opens. And it's for that reason. And even if we don't, you know what I'm saying, even if he doesn't shoot a deal, we can, on our side, he knows we can just walk away from the deal. Although we all want to make it, we all want Spider here. But like if we don't, we still got a competent team that can be run out, like they can put on the floor and run out the young boys and see what we got.
But Keith, you cannot deny, and everything we let you say freely, you cannot deny if this thing goes south and Rose starts banging on Danny Ainge's phone, Danny Ainge is savvy enough to say, well, that's going to cost you another draft pick because yesterday's prices ain't today's prices. You can't ignore that.
It may. The highway does go both ways.
But I think the percentages and the odds are on our side. That's what I say. I think there is smaller odds of that happening than these guys actually looking better, and Danny Ainge feeling the pressure. I'm telling you, this deal is getting done before camp.
Well, go ahead. What was you gonna say, Freeze? What you gonna say? You popped in.
No, I came in, man, to just hang out with y'all, man. I just wanted to hang out with y'all, man, a little bit. If y'all allow me.
So one thing I will say, I just want to make sure before I went into it. One thing I will say. One thing I think is very important to say, and we have not said, or I have not heard on this network, is that it's factual that Brunson started 42 games as a starter when Luka didn't take the court. And he averaged better. Am I back now?
Yeah.
I didn't see me. I see Keith going. I see Keith going in and out.
Nah, and both of y'all good.
Okay. So what's factual is Brunson started 42 games without Luka. What's factual is he averaged 17.3, 17.5. What's factual is he got 6.5 assists a game. And what's factual is his efficiency was never as great as it was with or without Luka. I just think the guy's a baller. I really do. And I just think that those numbers as a starter not only make you a top 10 point guard in this league, but it's gonna get him. It's gonna get him some decent checks. It's gonna get him. He got the check, but it's gonna make other players around him better. Right. So I believe in that.
My salute of Brunson or my happiness for getting Brunson has nothing to do with me feeling like he is going to be the one scoring points. Like I am more happy that we got somebody to be able to facilitate a continuous offense. And I think that is like what they say, a rising tide raises all boats. I think he's the tide that can really raise all of these cats. You know what I'm saying? Put them in their positions. Like they really actually help cats play ball like to their strengths. And that's what we've been waiting for. I don't know if it's going to 100% work out, but I know it's going to be better than it was last year.
So you say so Jalen Brunson can optimize their potential.
What? Say it again. I'm sorry.
Jalen Brunson can optimize their potential.
Yes, it's his take. I didn't want to say nothing, Freeze. I'm waiting for him to say yes.
Yeah, because it's freezing me out. I don't know. I can't hear what you're saying. What he just said.
Oh, yeah, man. So I agree with you
right now, and I'm frozen to y'all.
So for ladies and gentlemen that didn't hear, Free Keith said Uncle Freezy is the GOAT. Uncle Freezy is the smartest dude he ever met. That's what Free Keith said.
I said.
Yo, just go back out and come right back in then. If you having a tech issue, just go out and come right back in, and then I'll just pop you back in.
All right, hold on.
Because what I see is me and your screens got that crystal clear HD look and feel, brother.
HD.
Yeah, I mean,
HD.
listen, Joe Maiden. This gives me a chance to address you, bro. I heard you. I was driving home from work today. Long haul today.
Knicks afternoon drive, 6 p.m.
Knicks afternoon drive. I heard him say, I don't understand these New York fans that are Cowboy fans. I don't get it. And you almost said it with the same vigor that Philadelphia fans say it, or Washington D.C. fans, or even Buffalo Bill fans, Cowboy fans. We're everywhere. While we haven't won a championship since '95, it's true. We still remain the most supported team. And if you could crack the Cowboys algorithm, boy, you talk about thousands. You're not talking about hundreds. You're talking about thousands of views if you could get in there right. So, you got to understand, growing up in America in the 70s, there was nothing more American than Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and apple pie. God bless, Joe Maiden. Go New York Mets.
That don't even sound right.
Okay. Now, what I would say to that Gi just said, and just real quick, guys, what I want to mention to you as like a show note, I've been really getting pushed to do like a football joint too, so that we could talk Cowboys and Bears and 49ers and Giants and Jets and all that. I don't mind, right? But what I do mind is a waste of time. So what I'm gonna do is, unless Legends gets 100 subscribers, I'm not gonna do it, because I don't want to take time away from conversations like this one that I'm having with Free Keith and GI in order to talk to an audience of like 6 or 7 people. And I know you got to start somewhere, right? But the thing is, there's a time and place for everything. I would rather let another YouTuber do it, and then us continue to like just sit here and listen to GI about the Knicks, as opposed to have less of GI about the Knicks, less of Free Keith about the Knicks, and talking football to like 5 people.
Put Legends link in the chat.
I'm doing that right now. I'm doing it right now. I got you, boss. I got you. Hey, but Free Keith, what I'm saying to that point, the reason why I brought up the point in the first place is not because I think one team president, and we all talk about team presidents, not general managers. Like, we're not talking about the shift manager. We talk about the store manager. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about that. We talk about these team presidents, bro. They are the ones working on getting this deal done, and the owners are there to ensure that nobody kills the overall team value. It's the reason why I brought it up, right? Because I think Leon Rose is too smart to diminish the Knicks' value overall, right? I think Leon Rose is too smart for that. I think Danny Ainge is too smart for that also, right? And so that's why I think that this whole thing about managing the asset is super important. All right, so I just pinned that up, y'all, in the thing to the channel Legends. If you want to get some football talk in during the daytime, go to Legends. But keep in mind that we're doing vibes and stuff, Blorange Tears, Patreon, and then Legends. So if the thing, it's got to be a time, a value time thing. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all gonna support it, we gonna do it. Y'all know me. We gonna support the part that grow. You feed the part, the part you feed is the part that grow. So Free Keith, are you saying that the Knicks should wait and be patient with this deal in order to have the Jazz come back to the table humbled, knowing that they can't get a higher price in another place?
they need the time to let that. They need the time to let that process happen. Yeah, because like in the stare down, the first person to blink loses.
Right. I'm
sure they're prepared to pay the highest price, but you don't pay the highest price if you don't have to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So like, I think there's a time to which like a move is gonna have to be made, or this, that, and the other. But right now it's not. It doesn't have to be made right now. Right now is the stare down.
I like this. I always like the stare down, right? Like for instance, so in another world a long time ago, I used to do the asset management piece. And I used to love asset management because when people were doing stare downs, I could go gobble up assets while they staring at each other. Y'all keep on staring at each other, and I'm gonna go gobble up all this stuff around y'all while y'all seeing who pissed the hardest and the strongest. My piece smell way stronger than yours. Okay, I'm gonna be over here
don't even make sense
gobbling up this stuff
because that don't make sense in scenario because like somebody gonna swoop in and gobble up or swoop in and gobble up.
Freeze is a master at this.
That nonsense. Like he makes people think like he's saying something mad profound, but it don't really what it is that we're talking about.
Not freaky. What I'm saying is
in the midst of the stare down and steal Spider or steal our assets.
No, it's not.
There's other deals out there to be made.
It's other deals out there to be made. Is what I'm saying.
It's us looking at this one deal. Do you guys know what alternative plans or anything like that Leon and them is thinking about? None of y'all really even thought that this time was going to happen. So how y'all know what's going on in the background or what they got bubbling plan B and C? Y'all don't know none of that. But y'all know now y'all know the deal that y'all was kicking their back in for. Y'all was kicking their back in for when they was collecting assets, kicking their back in. They were what's the word? I don't even want to use incompetent because I usually use incompetent. Wasn't inept.
No. I said inept. I said inept.
It was inept. They were inept until this point. So then how come they don't, you know what I'm saying? Now that we realize they ain't inept, why would we continue to think that they're inept and not have plan B's and C's in mind? Because
time marches on.
Bro,
time is linear. Time moves in one direction and it moves at its own pace. You can't control time. You can control things like assets and other things, but you can't control time, right? And the other thing too that you can't control is people's spirit. No matter how much you can say a lot, man. Look, if the people get down on this deal or this moment, you may never be able to recover from this moment. That's why relationships are so hard to manage, right? You got to make sure that when you do things, you have to do it in a way that don't have people feel exasperated by you having a pissing contest.
What people? Who? What people? When was the last time they consulted fans? When's the last time? When did they tell you, me, G.I., any of us what their plan is? I see cats getting mad. I see cats getting mad and frustrated at their own ideas of what the plan is supposed to be every day. Y'all don't know.
Well, I know, and that's why on August 1st, I'm gonna take this video clip and email it to James Dolan and tell James Dolan I'm not gonna swipe my debit card on anything Knicks related going forward.
Okay.
And see what James Dolan say to that.
And
because that thing behind freaky that
turns to Leon, and Leon turns this franchise into like a chip chasing franchise.
Did you say if?
He gonna look at that email like, what does this mean?
You said if, right?
I didn't say if. I said he will.
Well, that's what the 19 previous regime said.
But the 19 previous regime, they've already made more progress than the 19 previous regimes, though.
Right, with the 35 wins.
35 wins is our
no, I'm sorry, 37 wins. I'm sorry, I'm going to give them credit.
37 wins is our highest win total in the last 8 years, though. The second highest in the last 9. So we even lose better than we've been losing. So what?
Right. Right. But time is linear, bro. It's gonna move at its own speed in its own direction.
Progress isn't though.
Right. Right.
Progress
Right. What is
linear.
what
Progress
is
is not linear.
what is progress outside of saying somebody? So what is progress outside of saying somebody's perspective? Outside of somebody's perspective, what is progress?
Progress is in the numbers. It's a sport. Progress is in the numbers, bro. Progress is in the numbers. Progress is very, very much like quantifiable in sport. Very quantifiable.
By championships, right? Didn't I say the top 5 most valuable teams in the NBA right now? 4 of them had won championships. There's only one team in that top 5 that didn't. And it's
one
us.
Team wins the chip.
So how are we making progress when other teams are winning championships?
5 teams don't win the chip. One team wins. So did none of the other teams make progress? Did none of the other teams make progress? That's what I'm saying. Progress. So you can't say
and those teams have been. I think Golden State has snuck in it. Let's say Golden State, the only team that snuck in that top 5 the last 15 years.
Yeah, Golden State went from top 25, barely staying in the league, depending on ticket sales, to the number 2 most valuable franchise.
So it shows that winning has money other than the big market. In fact, where's LA Lakers on that list? That's but don't forget the Lakers.
They're just give me a split second. I'll pull it up. I'm sorry.
Them and the Clippers gonna be
around. The Lakers are 3. The Clippers are 6.
Yeah, because they don't own stadiums. I believe
that's what I said. The real estate is part of the valuation, yo.
It is. It is. But the fact of the matter is the Knicks has been top 3 in valuation in the NBA since forever. But we haven't been able to hire the right management. It just goes to show money don't buy you everything. And in fact, money bought us misery. And it gets old, Keith. You can't. You're trying to totally discredit what Freezy is saying, and there is some proof. There is some truth and proof to what he's saying.
I listened.
Hey, shout out to Big Chris. Chris, shout out to Chris.
I listened to cats for years, especially through the Frank years. Tell me how much we should be like the process in Philly, and we should be tanking every year, and we should be trying. I've heard that from Knicks fans for years. You heard it too, Freezy.
And we didn't tank though. We never tanked. We don't know what it's like. We didn't do it.
No. We didn't tank, and to me, I'm not a fan of tanking. I think tanking is a sucker's bet, and I don't think that Philly's in a much better place for having done all that tanking. To tell you the truth.
Whoa. But let me tell you something, Keith. Slow down.
Whoa, what? They tanked for like 6 years.
No. But slow down.
They don't have a chance.
Yeah. But hold on. Nobody still we love our young players. We see potential in our young players.
They tanked for 6 years. They got Embiid. That's it.
I'm not talking about Philly. I'm not sticking up for them because they blew their process. I know what you're saying. You're gonna say, but we didn't have to tank, and we got Grimes, and we got Obi, and we got Quickly, and we got picks.
Tell me what I'm gonna say, because I wasn't gonna say that. That wasn't the direction I was going in.
Go ahead.
I was going in a time direction, my guy. A time direction. 2.5 seasons, we was the bottom team in the league for the last 20 years. Most dysfunctional team in the league for 20 years. 2.5 seasons ago. Y'all cats want to go. Y'all think it's rational to even think that we was going from last to first?
I hear what you're saying now, but I don't know why you use tanking. I don't know why you use tanking as your. I use tanking
in terms of like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, because that tanking. Because I was gonna say we never tanked. Nobody knows where we would be if we tanked. Nobody knows. I heard
Knicks fans call for it. What, dude? We weren't even picking well. We weren't even picking well in the draft. For real.
Nobody knows where we would be if we tanked because we never did it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Period.
But we have the evidence of what Philly became after 6 years of tanking. And for real,
I could tell you I could tell you 20 other moves.
Cool. They had some exciting playoff moments, but come on. Bro.
I could tell you 20 other moves Philly made. First of all, they got rid of the man who got them all the assets. And in the NBA yell, when they got rid of Hanky is when everything went south for them. So there's a million other reasons. You can't just say they didn't acquire talent. It didn't work. Their leadership, they made them fire the man who got them all the talent, and he had a plan. Shame on the NBA. The NBA made them do that. Adam Silver made them do that. Shame on them.
They made him fire him?
Yeah, it put pressure on him because he kept tanking, and they made the no tanking rules. They blackballed him from the NBA.
Yeah, and they put the dude from the Phoenix Suns over there, Colangelo.
Yeah, he ain't done nothing. And they had to fire him.
Nothing. Yeah, Colangelo had the burner accounts criticizing the Sixers players. Remember that?
And just remember, somebody gave Tobias Harris $185 million that had nothing to do with the process. Nothing. That's why so in fairness, you don't know what tanking would be, and we never got to tank. But you're right. Are you happier to be a Knicks fan today than you were in 2015? Heck yeah. You
wouldn't think it? You would not think that, though, bro.
You can't show a Knicks.
If I was just dropped into the Knicks universe today, you would have thought we was in the playoffs all the way up until last year, and last year was the first year that we wasn't in the playoffs.
Listen, I don't know what it's like to drive a Lamborghini around northern Iowa. I don't. But could you imagine what it's like to drive a Lamborghini around New York City? And tell any New Yorker they get an opportunity to drive a Lamborghini around New York City. The angst. So we got angst right now. Keith, here's the blessing while here's why this show is special.
Understand that it's angst, though. That's why I'm here.
It's angst.
Your angst is angst, and let's see through the angst and get to logic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's use the facts of the situation to kind of like guide us to a calming place.
I'm with you. I'm never happier to be a Knicks fan than I am today. The only thing I'm saying is we have to still understand that there's that fan sitting on edge. We got to understand it. But this reminds you, Free Keith, with that fan sitting on the edge, if something goes south next year, Rose is immediately in trouble, and that's Freezy's point of view. And I just look at your eyes, see, look at your body language.
Okay, let me tell you this then. If we're talking about in the lane of things that could possibly go south, whatever. Say we get Spider, and it goes south.
Well, then that's when I step in and say, I told you so. Because that's when it becomes the Carmelo deal. Everybody's saying it's not the Carmelo deal. No, hear me, Keith. Hear me. If Mitchell comes here, the only way it goes south because we don't win games. If we don't win games, Mitchell's not getting blamed for it. He's not getting blamed for it. Let me tell you what Knicks fans are going to say. Knicks fans are going to say, we don't have the right team around them. You got to trade this one. You got to trade. In fact, next year, if it goes south, Randall's, if this team as designed don't win next year, no matter what happens, it's Randall's fault. You cannot put Randall with RJ and Brunson. You cannot. Randall's got to go. I don't know why you surprised.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, look, the argument, Spider comes here, it's Spider's team. The argument that people will have, he will get the most touches, the most shots, the most looks. We know this. If things go south and people blame Randall instead of Spider, it's evidence. It's evidence of what I've been saying for the years since Randall came here. Is just cats irrationally hate him.
First of all, let me tell you who they're gonna blame first.
This is why he was hated.
I don't want you to go crazy on Randall. Let me tell you who's getting blamed first.
You said Randall.
No, first it's going to be RJ.
No, it's not.
Because next year, because I'm telling you, next year,
RJ's not getting blamed before Randall.
yes, he is.
Dude,
Next year,
wow.
if next year, know why?
Nobody wants Randall here. Nobody
tell you
wants
why.
Randall. If this goes left, they are going to find. Catch was looking away. Catch was kicking Randall's back in wins, bro. Wins last season. I heard Catch was like, oh, he was freezing out RJ. He was freezing out RJ. We won the game.
Let me tell you why it's going to be RJ. Because his contract is up. And the fans ain't going to want RJ around Mitchell. They're going to want Mitchell around some 6'9" guy. They ain't going to want Mitchell around RJ. RJ, when you get to the rim, man, listen. What you call is supposed to be a small guard, right? Mitchell's supposed to be a small guard, right? Everybody saying he's a small guard. He finishes at the rim stronger than RJ. Are you serious?
He's strong though. Like
bro, I don't even pause. I ain't even getting into that. Nobody said that. No, when this same dude, these fans just, I don't know who these stalking fans are. I don't know what they do with their life. But there's some dude on Instagram that took half the Knicks team is at this Subway Series, right? So some dude ran into Brunson and he ran into Donovan Mitchell. The dude stood next to both of them. Mitchell looks much bigger than Brunson. Pause. And it's the whole, and he plays. So listen, but I'm not getting into that. The fact of the matter is, if RJ is not phenomenal next year, the fans are really going to turn on him because his bag is up. His bag is due. And RJ, to me, is what next season needs to be like. If our future is bright, if we got our future in the clubhouse, it's because RJ is a part of it. If not, we got a lot of rebending and twisting and moving to do to make fans happy, to stay on top of things. If we decide to pivot away from RJ Barrett, but how could you pivot away from him until you really focus on him? And with a Jalen Brunson, you got an opportunity to run offense where the ball don't get lost. And that's what I'm trying to explain with fans that Brunson praise. If Brunson listened to Tibbs, which they have a relationship, a respect for each other. Brunson's father's on the bench. Brunson going to Tibbs going to turn to his father. Look, we're trying to keep these jobs, man. Can you talk to your son? If something was to come up, you got an intermediary. There's not going to be a problem with Brunson and Tibbs. So whatever offense Tibbs wants to run, Brunson is going to run. RJ needs to be a big piece of that. If that does not happen and we start 25% of the season off, with RJ not really having an aggressive start to the season, I'm gonna have serious issues.
You're gonna have issues, but let's say this. What about this scenario? If Randall is still here, Spider, Brunson, and Randall, the top three scorers on the team, do most of it, and we're winning. Who's mad at RJ, or mad that RJ isn't getting that they're getting or not being?
Well, RJ fans are gonna hate Randall for sure.
I don't care about RJ fans. That's cool.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just telling you that's the first. That's the loudest. I'm just going.
That's
I'm
why
ranking.
I that part about winning. I'm not like this ain't the season going south. Like we're winning, and it's Spider, Brunson, and Randall leading the charge.
First of all,
I know it's Knicks fans that's going to be grumbling. I know. I'm not even. That's a rhetorical question, but I'm just saying. You personally, now you looking at Knicks games. Brunson, how old is Brunson? 24. Randall 26.
Randall probably 27.
Spider's
25.
25.
Yeah, Spider 25. Yeah, no, but a good sub 30 core.
Yeah. Both of them are 25. They'll both be 26. That last week of August. Yeah.
You got it.
And Randall's 27, right?
So if they're leading and we're winning, who's mad? Because they're actually still young stars. Are we mad
You know,
that somebody
it's
from the team
now
is
I think we got lucky. I think we got lucky. Let's just say I think we got lucky that if your scenario plays out, that we could comfortably move on and put a number 3 draft pick on the floor on the open market, and he would probably have to come back for a sign and trade if he could find another team. It would just be sad to see, Keith. It really would. It would be sad. It would be sad to see RJ.
You want the story to be like, oh, like our guy who we drafted is the, you know what I'm saying, is the star of the team and this, that, and the other. It does, I don't even care that he was drafted 3rd. Like, I like RJ. Like, RJ won me over really, like, as a fan this last season. But he doesn't have to be the man for me. Like, he doesn't have to. As long as he's part of the team winning, as long as he has a place and the team is winning, I'm cool.
Hold on. I love me some Nick Yak. You got to let me cook. Nick Yak, I apologize you came to the show late. I told everybody about Jalen Brunson, who, when he was the lead guard while Luka was out, averaged 17.3, 17.5, 6.5 assists, same crazy efficiency, boards, everything.
Playoff numbers.
So, and I'm not even gonna go playoff numbers. I'm not even gonna, because everything's elevated.
All his numbers in terms of the times he was leading stepped up even from the regular
season. No, the playoffs. This is regular season.
That's what I'm saying. Even the regular season numbers.
Playoffs was 21 points.
Yes, and Luka was, and literally, if he wasn't playing, Luka might not have even seen that finals.
Listen. So Nick Nack, I absolutely said, I think if I'm Rose, I can see a scenario where Rose goes and says, I'm gonna show the team that I have has value. And then I'll be looking at Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell will start kicking Danny Ainge's door because Donovan Mitchell realizes how our team participate in next season and being good as we have it in the locker room now. Whether Hunt can make the team or can we get a 6'9" defensive wing to come and help lock up some guys, we absolutely have faith in this team, Nick Nack. So I absolutely don't, I keep saying absolutely. I understand you listening to other channels. You say they only come at it one way. Not on the Blorange Tears network. We could see a day where this Knicks team takes the floor and this Knicks team is competitive. Might take a little bit to get some, some chemistry, but we have faith in this year's Knicks team. We do, as currently constructed.
Definitely have faith. Well, you hear me. You see me. I'm outside in the street with my taste. Like, I'm totally up on this team. I'm up. I think the addition of Brunson and getting rid, although I love Burks as a playoff role player, I'm glad that we were able to get off of him Noel and Kemba, who I thought they was gonna have to let Kemba walk. Honestly, I didn't think that we'd be able to do anything with Kemba. But I guess Leon Rose, in his ineptitude.
Oh, stop! You trolling.
I'm trolling. I was trolled, though. I was trolled. I should be able to get some grace. I should be able to get some grace in terms of like a little bit of troll back. Like, why I can't get some troll back? Why I gotta be the bigger man? Why I gotta be big? I had cats pulling up to this show to troll me. Why I can't get no trolling in? Here come Freezy.
Well, I'm just sometimes the jokes write themselves, bro. So sometimes you don't even have to say the punchline, bro. So all I got to do is say Kemba Walker as a Knick, and people just start laughing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad he was able to
the jokes write themselves, bro.
I wish it was under better circumstances, but I'm glad that Kemba was able to wear the jersey. He should have been a Knick from the time he came in the league.
Listen. Obi Toppin.
I like Obi. Honestly, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think Julius Randle slimmed down some for those games where he goes after Middleton and Durant. I think he's preparing himself to take those guys on, to take that step. I think that's who Randle wants to be. So I think he realized he had to slim down to beat it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I don't think it's specifically them, but I agree with you for why
it's that mold. It's that mold of player. He realizes he ain't gonna be a bruiser, so why be built like a bruiser? He should be using his speed more, and that means he need to be slimmer. Right?
He slimmed down for speed and agility. Let's see how it works.
I think the Knicks made them do it last year, bro. Because you looked at multiple Knicks that were bulked up, that were bigger than they normally were. You know what I'm saying? And it was
Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, it was RJ Barrett. It was an experiment.
I thought it was really going to work out for Mitch, but he needed to lose. He wasn't ready for his bigger body.
Do you remember how big Kevin Knox looked last year at the beginning of the
season? Yes. Good point.
No, coming into the season, I really thought he was going to do something. I thought he got like, oh, he got in the gym. He's serious. Same old Knox.
Everybody
got all the tools, yo. Like he's actually, forget Frank, because I never believed in Frank from the beginning of Frank. Like I did.
Yeah, but hold on, Keith, because I remember I was on the Obi. Remember I was on the Obi top. I was on the Obi combo. I don't want to talk about no Frank. Remember I was on the Obi.
He loved Frank. He loved Frank,
just
bro.
A quick segue about
he got 11 branded on his shoulder.
I feel like Knox is the bigger disappointment because you could look at Knox and see he got the.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about either one of them cats. They both turn in my stomach. They both turn in my stomach. So Obi. So if Randle slims down, that gives Obi a chance to play with Randle and Mitch, and then RJ and Brunson, which could be a deadly team, right? So I'm hoping that's why Randle did it. You want to talk about knick-knack, somebody preying on next year's team, but Obi has got to hit the outside shot. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, he came out of last season looking good in that direction.
What I saw when I said, okay, if Obi was to be anywhere near a number 8 pick, he would have to shoot about 37 to 36, 35 to 38. I'll give him that. 38 might be a little high. From 3?
That's high. 38%.
He would have to get minutes, because in order to high fly, he would have to create space for himself. He can't. He's not strong enough. He's not jumping. So he would have to be able. He would have. Yeah, he would have to in order to be.
Bro, like that's high.
I know, but he sure can't shoot the 28%. It was a point last season he was shooting 17% from 3.
But I mean, the games where, like, once the young guys took over. And he got comfortably in his rhythm. Yo, like them last few games.
Well, Obi can't think. Are you freezing up? Obi can't think that he's coming into this season and Tibbs is giving him minutes. He has to think, unless something changes with Randall's, nothing's going to change with his minutes. Randall has a love fest. I mean, Tibbs and Randall have a love fest for each other, man. You see that with that play, and you know Tibbs has the history of doing that with Jalen Rose. I mean, Derrick Rose, and you know, listen, for Obi to stay on this team and really do so, he got to do something with 20 minutes a game. He's got to be super efficient with it, and then they'll see a day where Randall is not here, and they'll be willing to pay him some money. But until then, Obi will always get dangled, and because it's just going to be hard to get him the minutes under Tibbs. And they're committed to Tibbs. What they have proven this offseason, Free Keith, is their commitment to Tibbs. They did prove that. Management and coaching is on the same stage.
Well, some of us never really doubted that, but But I could see where visually, like this offseason, like if you were a fan that thought that there was some beef between management and Tibbs, like there ain't no beef. Cats is on the same page, bro. Whatever that page is, because we don't know it, but they're obviously on the same page. And all the stuff like that, you know, like that was trying to be brought up, like, oh, there's locker room beef, the Randall jealous of RJ, this, that, like none of that stuff bubbled out to be true. So I think we really kind of misjudged the culture that's going on there, or like the relationships that are there. And I think we're really misjudging outward action.
Can Randall increase his low IQ?
Yeah, can I just ask you guys a question? I just wanted to ask a question to a smart guy. And so I'm just gonna sneak in two. So for one, GI, were you satisfied the way I made Free Keith dance around the initial question? Was that impressive?
I
gotta be honest. Uncle Freeze. You have him on the ropes tonight. I was hoping you let him up, but you're doing the creative.
Me on the ropes? What ropes? Y'all bugging out.
Because the first question was franchise value.
And yeah, and I told you it didn't make any sense.
Nah, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
I totally disavow. I disagree that the franchise value is being
wait till you see the playback, bro. You was stumbling and mumbling, bro. It was like he was body shot. He had you on the ropes.
I was intentionally going to the body because he worked in Hollywood. He the East Coast producer. So his fate, you know what I'm saying, he can't go to work with, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't let me finish. You and that value proposition thing was just retarded. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pardon my French. Like, it was just retarded. Like I'm sitting me.
Keith, no, Keith.
Me and Ainge gonna sit around. Leon and Ainge is sitting across the table from each other. Leon and Ainge know each other for decades.
This channel gets money, bro. Come on, no.
You telling me like I'm gonna be soft to the idea that like, oh, this is affecting your franchise's value? No, I don't give a damn.
It's basic. That. It's basic. It's rudimentary, bro. It's if you don't have a star, people don't go to games. That's basic.
But he's not gonna have a star,
especially in the winter in Utah.
Regardless of who he gets, if he gets it, the 7 picks.
No, he's gonna turn around and tell them, "Look what I got! I got unprecedented value."
That's still not making nobody come to the game and buy shirts.
It makes it.
But it gives them hope. But it gives them hope.
Hope don't raise value. Hope don't spend money.
Okay.
You still not.
Obama became president on hope. Are you serious? Let me stop.
Keep hope alive.
if having a star is where the value is, either way, he's not gonna have a star.
Hey, Free Keith, I'm just saying, I love the way you doing the Muhammad Ali shuffle on me right now, because on one side you said hope don't buy tickets in Utah, but for the last 2 years, you've been selling hope to us about Leon Rose and what the front office is doing.
I don't equate hope to value like you just tried to do.
What?
I don't equate hope to value. That's what you're trying to do.
No. You just said.
I'm gonna say it again. Obama became president off of hope. There's a lot of value.
I'm not saying one is related to the other. I'm not saying that the hope thing in New York is the same as the hope thing in Utah. But what I'm saying is when you say that hope doesn't matter, and because it's Utah.
Not in terms of value, bro. Hope. Okay. There is no what you call it line in the log sheet for hope that you can equate value to.
Oh boy.
How does hope raise the value of your franchise? Please explain that to me.
Now he talking about accounting, bro. Now he talking about accounting. I took an accounting class like 3 years ago, bro.
I already said intrinsic value. It's not on the balance sheet. It's off the balance sheet. It's a fair market number. You don't.
Right.
Now, if
you don't get the cash in on it until you go to sell the company.
You made a fair point.
Just sits there.
You made a fair point about the star having value because yes, that star is selling merch. People are coming to the games to see that star. They're buying tickets. Yes, you have a very capable point about like that star thing affecting things
The
directly.
bottom line.
The bottom
So
line.
then, Danny.
Hope don't
So-
do that. It just make you feel
So
good.
Danny
about
Ainge is gonna get back a Grimes. You know who else I thought Danny Ainge might get back? Who he can market?
Why don't we
A
keep
Porzingis. I was scared he might get back a Porzingis, but I could have saw Danny Ainge getting back a Grimes. Then whatever players next year he draft, and start telling the fans. These is your future guys, and then that's the hope. They start buying into them. They expect them to lose, but they come to see what type of product they could put on the floor. That's the hope of it. I don't understand why you don't know. You've been selling. You sold the Knicks fans hope all last year, and now you saying now this year you got
nobody's
fans.
has
You
value.
sold mad hope last
Hope
year.
is not
You
a
sold
value
mad.
proposition.
You sold hope in Kimber
still sell
Walker.
hope,
We knew Kimber
But it's
wasn't
not a
going.
value proposition. I still sell hope.
Okay.
Hope. But it's not, I would never equate my team's value with my level of hope. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Hope on the balance sheet. Hope. Cats to get fired. He's like,
Actually, cats make millions. Cats make millions. Keith, you couldn't be more wrong. Cats make millions to manage what's called the goodwill. That is a balance sheet number. You talked about the star. The star in and of itself is goodwill. Whoever buys the Cowboy, yes.
Now find hope on it. Find hope on it. Find hope on that balance sheet. Tell me where hope is.
So if Danny Ainge can get his fan base to hope that this unprecedented number, these, what will he pull in this year? 10 or 10, close to 10, 8, 9 first round draft picks in one off season. Let's say he picks up 7, 8 first round draft picks. So he's telling them, well, he got 4 already from Minnesota.
Oh,
so you figure, you figure every year for the next, if this happens every year for the next 4 years, Danny Ainge and the Utah Jazz will be getting 3 new players. They'll be the modern day Sixers. The Sixers were excited for the tank. The Sixers got rejuvenated for the process.
Who was excited?
The Sixers fans were. And now they're getting a little desperate now because they realize their window is closed. But 2 years ago when Ben Simmons was all defensive player of the year and all that, and Embiid is still possibly one of the best players in the, they were excited. We haven't been able to talk the level of crap the last 5 years that the Sixers have had since the 90s.
We can't talk crap now, but like, hey, I look at the Sixers and I think like, well, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Listen, don't count them out too soon yet. I'm not prepared to do that.
I'm not counting them out, but like I tell you what,
they're still irrelevant. They're still a relevant basketball team.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like they're still a relevant team, but relevancy to me is not enough. Like, you tell me, you specifically, I don't know any other situation where cats basically went in front of fans and tell them like, yo, like we're probably gonna lose for the next, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let's put it this way. You can't get
you would not be able to do that beforehand in New York and expect it to be cool.
You can't get negative odds for the Sixers to win the championship. The Sixers is one of the favorites in the NBA to win the championship. You cannot. They're one of the favorites to win the championship next year. I don't understand why you're poo-pooing on the Sixers. That ain't in our business.
I'm not even poo-pooing on the Sixers. I'm just saying for the process, for them to deep dive so much as they did, like, yo, like I feel like they should have a chip by now, or at least been in a champ, at least got to the championship game.
Keith, I just told you 3 reasons that had nothing. I just told you 3 reasons that had nothing to do with the talent acquisition. They started trading guys away. I think at one point they let Noel go and kept who was the other big boy from? Is he from Kentucky? What was his name?
Jaleel Okafor from Duke.
Jaleel Okafor from Duke. He got great post moves. Great post moves. And I was like, why'd they do that? Why did they? And you knew Okafor, and sure enough, Okafor went up to Boston. I think went in the hall in the alleyway and punched some boy, and that's when cell phone. He was one of the first idiots with the cell phone to get busted with a cell phone, punched somebody dead in the face, and that was it. His career was all downhill from there. And we knew it. I was like, why didn't they keep Noel?
But he wasn't really like he was a relic of the past. Like that dude was obviously school.
Here's the other idiot move. I could take you back to that draft. They drafted Noel and Okafor back to back. Who does that? You got all these picks coming up. Why would you draft back-to-back centers?
And Rashawn Holmes and Dario Saric?
Come on, man.
It's the process.
So, well, no, they made stupid, but could you see all the assets they had? Yeah, we haven't been. We've never.
Point like a crap load collection of assets doesn't mean that you're going to just flourish by virtue of having those assets.
Keith, there's also something else all of the teams that won a championship have. They all have some really high draft picks. We had a number 1, a number 3, and a number 4, one of each kind the last 30 years. You can't rebuild like that. All those other teams had multiple years of high draft picks. Yes, we had 8 and 9s that we still talk about. We ain't find the Kawhi Leonard of that draft, blah, blah, blah. All those other teams, they had multiple 1s, multiple 2s, multiple 3s, multiple 4s, multiple top 5. We had none of that. We had 1-1. We've never had a number 2 draft pick, the number 2 slot in 30 years. Never. We had a 3 and we had a 4. And our 1 was in 1983, Patrick Ewing. It's 2022. Come on, Keith. At some point, we hurt ourselves for not tanking. Somebody needed to grab the rings and tank in this organization.
You'll never, ever, under any circumstances get me to buy in the tank.
Yeah, but guess what we were doing to not tank though. Guess we were trading away future assets to not tank and then losing anyway and getting to the draft. And only when we get to the draft, we say, well, damn, those last 3 games we won was stupid. We would be leaving with Jaden Ivey. Yet we're leaving with a bag of potato chips.
Fans say that. I've yet to heard anybody from the organization say that.
Well, but they wouldn't admit their jobs. You wouldn't go to your job. You
can be a fan of a bad team or whatever, but they go out there to win.
You can't say that. You can't say that me and Freezy is wrong because management doesn't go to work. Because management doesn't go to work and say, I get paid at this job, but I suck at it. T-shirts. I'm like you expect that management would go. You expect that they would go have a press conference and say what me and Freezy are saying.
Management gets fired. People get fired. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Let's be honest, Keith. Rose is closer while he's doing a great job, nonetheless.
Man, Rose is doing an awesome job, man.
He's closer to getting fired than getting renewed. What you call it wouldn't renew him up at this dollar amount if a great player doesn't walk through that door.
I don't think so. I think he's fine.
Yeah, no.
I think he's fine.
If you telling me
which direction that is Dolan gonna go in?
I don't know where Dolan would go, and he don't know. But guess what will happen?
one of the best front offices he had in over a decade.
Somebody that Dolan is intoxicated with, that Isaiah Thomas says is okay, will come knocking at that door and Dolan will hire him, some big name. Because here's the deal, man. What could you say? While we're happy with all the assets, don't forget I was happy that Phil Jackson didn't trade no players or no picks away to put him around Carmelo Anthony. I was almost scared we was gonna go that route, trade future draft round, first round picks, and I knew Melo didn't want to be here. So I was like, "You gonna do that? Melo's not gonna want to pass the ball. He don't want to. He's pissed since Phil said count with fans. When Melo get the ball, start counting. That was it. Melo was done. But you get to a point where, how do you upgrade your team? I don't know, Keith.
I like the position that we're in right now. Why? Why? Because we can go in one of two ways, totally rationally. We go all in, the deal works, we get Spider. We've kicked ourselves up to the line. Work on the deal, don't get Spider. I feel like we still got talent on the team that we need to flesh out. So that becomes like we are literally sitting in the middle of two capable directions. And I know I don't want that other one, and I know no fan wants the other one, but it's not a bad like it's if we're left with it, it's not a bad direction. I think we have very capable guys on the team that could show us something, and that we could stand to flesh out and see who is who and for real. So I wouldn't be mad at resorting to have to run with them for this year, but that's what gives us, to me, a position of leverage, is the fact that we can walk away from the deal. We don't have, like, the team is not the team in every and all eggs in every pot is Spider deal. Like we want to make it, we don't have to make the deal.
All I'm saying is, at some point, Leon Rose gonna get some pressure. He can't say he took all that money from Dolan, and can he take credit for Randall? Nah. Can he take credit for Mitch? Nah. Can he take credit for RJ? Nah. So you talk about three of the starters, three of the most important.
RJ, he didn't because he didn't pick him.
He didn't draft them.
But he was.
So I paid you. But hey, listen, I paid you all these millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you brought me Jalen Brunson, who's your godson, whose dad is the coach. No, listen. I'm Dolan. I don't have to pay
that whole son joint like that. Like, what does that mean? So you're saying, oh, nepotism? He's here, and not because he's not because he's a good basketball player.
No, Keith.
Not because
I'm
he's
not saying that. I'm
talking
about your ability to acquire talent. You didn't have to go that far to get it. You ain't. I bought you. I hired you for your black book. I hired you for access
to your black book.
Right. You went to the front page. That ain't deep in the black book.
Right.
So you have the black book. I'm gonna tell you where to go in it too. You mad that I went to I was easily able to get something from my black book. The whole thing.
We were told it was a black book. We weren't told it was a sheet of paper.
The whole thing is about your network.
Right, I know. I get it, man. How long y'all rocking, man? We supposed to be over at 9 o'clock.
I mean, y'all got me tight going over time like this, yo.
Yeah, we supposed to be out of here at 9 o'clock, man. Y'all giving away all this free content. Y'all giving away all this free content, man. What's going on, man? I mean, what's the deal? Somebody wrap this thing up so I can go eat.
Yo, man.
Y'all bugging out. Y'all going at it, everybody. Ain't nobody safe. Y'all going at the producer?
Yeah, nobody's
all I'm doing is producing.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Man, y'all wrap this up, man, so I can go in here and eat this salad.
You see Pastors is out here getting robbed. Nobody's safe. Nobody. You gonna do the shout outs? You gonna do shout outs, GI?
No shout outs tonight. No shout outs. We cooked for an extra half hour. I can only imagine. I see the comments
Y'all out here
going
giving
fast.
all this free content, man. What's wrong with
No more shout out. Only thing we're gonna say is thank you. Keith got going crazy tonight. Freezy dropped some hand bombs. Listen, tonight was special. Great show. A lot of passion. This is what we're gonna give you. We trust. And you know what? Nick Knack is the one who did it. We blame Nick Knack, and that's my man. Nick Knack know I owe. If I see a comment from him and he tips me, I'm going at him. That's my dude. But I just need you to say that me and Keith, we really believe in next year's team as it is on paper. And we believe we can increase the players' values in the clubhouse. But Leon Rose still hasn't done great talent acquisition. He's got some assets, but he can't put them on the floor yet. Until he can put them on the floor, it's still an incomplete on his grade. Good job, head in the right direction, still incomplete for his grade. That's all the free content I'm giving tonight. I love y'all. Y'all catch me on Patreon as well. We're going to drop some dope stuff over there. Let's get it in.
Dudes.